From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew.
Hello and welcome to episode 220 of the Blind Android Users Podcast. I'm Ed Green and I'm joined today by my co-hosts Warren Carr, Sally Kunders, Karene Kiwan and John Dyer. We're coming to you on Saturday the 22nd of February 2025. It's a busy episode this week. In Android Basics, we look at the Braille improvements in TalkBack 15.2. In the Spotlight, we are joined by special guest Patrick Long, Chief Executive and Co-founder of Innosearch AI, a new platform which aims to make shopping more accessible to blind people. In our App of the Week segment, it's a rare venture into gaming, and Warren brings us a demo of a game called Project Dark. And we have the next in our series of Jieshuo from Karene, and it's all about touch locking. John, how are you?
I'm good. It's felt like a long week because my son was out of school. It snowed 8 inches, which is a lot for my area. It hasn't snowed that much in probably probably more like 7 years. So yeah, we had pretty much the whole week off and it was good. What about you? How was your week?
It was good. My daughter was off school too, but she went up to the grandparents for Tuesday to Friday, and we went together yesterday. So standard work week for me, really. Yeah. Karene, how are you?
I'm doing well. Slightly disappointed because we were expecting snow, but nothing. Actually, there were it snowed, but just when they reached the ground, they melted. So actually, there's not enough precipitation, not enough humidity in the air.
You
so
had a sky
we are not
snow.
getting anything. Yeah. So we were expecting a lot of snow in this storm, but it's nothing. So we're just getting cold weather, and we are still hoping for something between tonight and tomorrow. But it's likely, according to the forecasts, it's likely that there will be nothing.
Well, you still get a cold breeze, so that's probably what you're looking for. But then, of course, it makes sense to have that little fluffy stuff on the ground, right?
Well, coldness without snow, like having a cold weather but not getting the beauty of snow, it's something that actually I don't want to feel.
Well, don't go to London then, because I don't think you guys hardly get snow, right, Ed? But it's cold.
Yeah, we don't get much snow at all. It's been very cold this week too, although slowly warming up, but very little snow here. And Warren, how's your week been?
It's been a great week, and like John, our schools were closed, or we had like a 3-day, off. Basically, the whole damn week was just closed, and I think we had school yesterday. But other than that, the snow and all of that, so it's just nice thing to have. I love it. But now the weather is kind of warming up, and there's a lot of melting going on out there, and I think it sounds like rain is coming down, but it's not raining, it's just water.
Just dripping. Sally, how are you?
Well, I'm doing great. It's been also a great week for me. Schools were closed for Thursday and Friday. It's like -2 here. In other words, it's 28. It's snowing since Wednesday night, and it feels good.
And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics.
Now we turn to our Android Basics section, and it's a release that I think a lot of Braille users, particularly more modern displays, have been waiting for. So in TalkBack version 15.2, if you own a Braille display, which uses what they call the HID protocol or HID, you can finally use that display over Bluetooth. Warren, we've been waiting for this for a while, haven't we?
Oh boy, you can say that again. I mean, we've been waiting for it for eons, and finally, that happened with this release of TalkBack 15.2. And we just want to say that if you have a device that relies on this protocol, you probably want to check the manufacturer's website to see if there's a firmware update, because that's important if you really want to be able to have access to it. So it's nice to check that to see if there's any updates. But I can confirm that it works because I tested it out with the Humanware NLS e-reader, and it sure works. So if you have one of those and you've been pining away and waiting for that thing to come through, that thing is now available and you could take advantage of it. I tried it, of course, on my Pixel phone. I don't have One UI 7 to see if it would work on it or not. So I can't say for sure if it works on the Samsung devices or not. But I hope that when Samsung pushes out version 15.2, that it too would work. I would like to believe it would.
Yeah, and that'll be a little while in the coming, won't it? But do we imagine if we install Google TalkBack on a Samsung phone running One UI 7, it ought to work?
No, really. I mean,
No?
even though like we got the device a couple of weeks ago, it has a lot of issues with even the UI, the Android itself. So I don't want to do another risk by installing Google TalkBack right now.
No. I don't have an HID display, unfortunately. I think I'd probably take the risk. But
Yeah, I don't recommend
Um,
installing it anymore, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. Like it should work with, if it's running 15.2 and Android 15, it should work. So, yeah.
I would like to believe that it would work if you manage to get it running, because it's dependent on maybe load patch from there that makes it possible to work. So I don't see why it wouldn't work. So if you're really, really wanting to do that and you have the know-how, I believe it would work.
yeah. Was there anything else new in this release, or was it just that?
I think that was
That's
the focus
Well-
of this release, though, because it's a very important issue that people have been talking about, and I know people have been kind of rather frustrated and waiting. So it made sense that this was the focal part of what was new with this update.
Warren, I want to point something out related to the announcement or the new features in TalkBack, the section that you have in the settings, and when you update, you see an overview of the new features. Well, in this release, they talked about the HID support, but they didn't mention that it's an Android 15 exclusive. So I think it's something, maybe it's unintentional from their on their side, but it's just people shouldn't be confused. Well, in the what's new section, you won't see anything related to the exclusivity, Android 15 exclusivity. So you will just see HID is now supported, and you can just connect after updating your Braille display. But in fact, since I'm on Android 14, I won't be able to use it anyway.
No.
But actually, I don't have any Braille display to test it. But I think they should have mentioned this in the what's new section, but they didn't. Yeah, but people should know that it does work only on Android 15.
You're correct, Karene. So you have to be running Android 15 or higher. So in other words, you must be running Android 15 or Android 16 beta in order for this to work. If you have Android 14, you're left in the cold. And I think that probably goes back, though, because earlier on, some of the features only worked with Android 15. But I would love to see it going back. But sometimes these things don't go back, and especially with TalkBack, you never can tell. But I'm hoping though that it would trickle down, because it makes sense if one doesn't have an Android 15, or you have a device that is not getting updated to Android 15, and you have a Braille display that has this protocol. I think you shouldn't be left out in the cold. Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews with developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this week's episode, here's your Spotlight.
I'm delighted to say for our Spotlight section that we're joined by Patrick Long from Innosearch AI, a shopping and flight site that's proving very popular among blind people. Hi, Patrick. Thanks very much for coming.
Hey, Ed. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Great. Thanks very much. Can you tell us a little bit about Innosearch AI and what the aim of the site is?
Yeah, so just in a nutshell, Innosearch AI is a site designed specifically for those blind and visually impaired. What we've done is we've simplified the shopping experience. We removed all the ads. We've added descriptions to all the product images. We created an AI that can help you quickly search for information like product dimensions, product weights, so you can very easily find what you're looking for. We've also created an interface that is very screen reader compatible. So just with a few keystrokes, you can find the search field, quickly find the items that you're looking for. And it's just a really easy experience. There's over 500,000 retailers today on Innosearch. So you don't need to go to different websites. All the shopping, whether you're buying from Amazon, Walmart, Old Navy, whatever, you can find all on Innosearch and have a seamless checkout experience. We also have flight bookings, and we plan to expand to other verticals soon as well, like hotels, groceries, food delivery. Basically, we plan to be a one-stop shop for those who have a visual impairment.
And presumably the advantage of something like Innosearch AI is that you're not having to come to grips with a myriad of different sites that might have varying degrees of accessibility. The interface is going to be pretty consistent regardless of the retailer you're buying from. Is that right?
Yep, that's right. So the way we see us is we're sort of the standard denominator, right? Every experience, whether you're going to your Wayfair, AliExpress, Amazon, is exactly the same. So we use AI technologies to extract the most important product information, and we display that to the user. So, quick description of the item, AI-enabled descriptions for each product image, also an AI chatbot if you want to do additional research on each item, right? And the chatbot has been trained on all the information on the internet, as well as product manuals, the product pages themselves. So you don't have to, flip through every single item and have your screen reader read everything out to you. You can just chat directly with the AI and it will, find that exact information you're looking for. So we make it a lot easier. Currently, we serve over 1,000 users daily. So a lot of blind and visually impaired, in the UK, in the US, Australia, and Canada use our product very regularly to buy everything from electronics to, in some cases, even food, right? So it's been pretty exciting. We're growing quickly, and a lot of people have really enjoyed the service. So we're very excited to continue to share this with different members of the community.
I've got some more detailed questions in a little while, if that's okay, but I'll hand it round the crew to see if others want to pop questions first. John, you've bought off Innosearch AI, haven't you?
Yes, I'll be honest, I didn't until this week because I knew we had the interview coming up. And to be honest, it was much easier than I thought it would be. I mistakenly made some assumptions. Like I thought I would have to maybe link an account, like an Amazon account or a Walmart account or something, which obviously is not the case, or I wouldn't be saying mistakenly. But yeah, it was easy. I didn't have to create an account. I might have technically created an account by logging in with Google and maybe it automatically linked it. But the point being, I was able to log in with my Google account, and then I just had all my Google Pay information there. So even when I went to make the purchase that was technically from Walmart, I didn't need a Walmart account. I just used my Google Pay information. They had my address and my credit card already there. And I haven't got the item yet. It said 3 days, but I ordered it 2 days ago. So yeah, I got the email with all the information about the order and everything. It was a seamless experience. I wouldn't say I tried to push the limits of like accessibility, but for sure I did not have any accessibility issues. It was very straightforward. The website was easy to use. So yeah. But I did have one question that I wanted to ask. Well, I probably have multiple questions, but I'm going to start with so certain benefits from subscriptions like Walmart Plus or Amazon Prime, right? To get faster shipping and stuff like that. Is there an option? Because I didn't really look into it. Is there an option to like link an account if you want to get faster shipping, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, so the company has a relationship with those retailers, and we're able to pass those benefits on to the customer. So there's actually no need to link your account. You can think of Innosearch really as your one login that you'd need, right? So just through us, you can access 500,000 retailers. And yeah, that's a convenience onto its own, right? There's no need to manage so many passwords, remember all these different websites of your favorite items. You can do all your shopping on Innosearch just through one login, and any of those large retailers like Amazon or Walmart, most likely we have that relationship, and we can pass the fast shipping or whatever to you.
So does this mean I technically don't have to have Amazon Prime to get the fast shipping, or do they know somehow by my address that I do?
Yeah, so technically, I mean, Amazon Prime, as I understand, has other benefits like video streaming and music streaming, whatever. But if you don't care about those and all you care about is the fast shipping, then yeah, that's something Innosearch can provide to you at this time.
Cool.
Yep.
Warren here. So a little bit follow up on what John was saying. In other words, though, I therefore get a free shipping because I'm a Prime user. Would that also transfer to Innosearch, Patrick?
Yeah, so you can be a Prime user, but that doesn't affect whether or not you get that fast and free shipping, right? Because Innosearch has the relationship with Amazon or Walmart, and so we're able to pass those benefits on because we are the Prime member. We're able to pass those benefits onto you.
I got it.
It doesn't matter whether or not you yourself
You're a Prime
are.
user or not. Okay, that makes sense. I think that's really cool. Now, I got a question for you. I'm a historian, and I really want to know when you guys got started with this and the idea that came to your mind when you were thinking about doing this, and what led you to doing this. And I wish you had known about this earlier during Christmas, but of course, we're going to have more Christmases coming on, so that's not a problem at all. But take us down that memory lane of the history, what made you get started, and when you guys got started.
Yeah, so we got started actually a little more than a year ago. My co-founder and I, Brian's the tech brains behind everything, and I'm more on the business side. But in the beginning, actually, we were building a more general purpose shopping assistant. But after actually we were doing a lot of user testing with different demographics and different groups, we found that those who were blind and visually impaired really resonated with our product. Like we got the best reviews, and they just really loved it because, simplifying the shopping experience, especially for a group that I believe, and you guys probably agree, the web is not currently designed for, right? The web today is actually designed for sighted people. There's a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, a lot of pop-ups, a lot of interaction, right, on web pages today. And for those who have a visual impairment, they can't enjoy that, right? So that's sort of the crux of why we think Innosearch could solve a huge pain point, right? We use AI to simplify it, and AI is really good at that. I'm sure you guys have used ChatGPT, in your daily lives. It's really good at summarizing, helping people write, but that same technology can be used to extract very important information from web pages at scale, right? So we're able to use that to create now a new experience, a completely different layout, just specifically that's very screen reader compatible, right? In fact, we have 3 members on our team who are blind and visually impaired. So we build with, our users, our core, core user in mind. And so, it's been a little more than a year, but in the past 6 months, when we really focused on our user group and their pain points, the growth has just been phenomenal. So I think from October to November, we basically tripled in size. And then every month afterwards, we've been growing like 20 to 50% every month. So it's been really phenomenal. We're seeing people share with their friends. We're seeing people buy, everything and everything on our site. And that's very exciting. We've seen people actually, one story that really touched me was we had a user, he never actually shopped for Christmas before because he really struggled, just using the internet, right? It doesn't come easy for him, and screen readers were difficult. So he was never actually been able to shop and surprise his family. But for the first time after he discovered Innosearch, I think through a podcast or something we were on, he was finally able to surprise his friends and family that Christmas and buy them some gifts because he was able to do it all on his own. So stories like this, testimonials from our users that really love our product, get us very excited. And we will actually this year plan to 10x the accessibility. So soon we plan to introduce voice commands to our site. So if screen readers are really not your thing, you can actually talk directly to the web page, and it will help navigate and search for products and also go through the checkout. We also plan to add a phone line service. So you can also dial in, right? Let's say your internet connection is not so good. You can dial in to our number, and then you can talk with our AI, right? And the AI will act as if it's a friendly associate at whatever store and take you through that process as well. So those 2 features we're very excited for. We think it really can make the shopping experience a lot more accessible, even beyond what we have right now.
I really like that story about that guy shopping for the first time for his family online. I always talk about the fact that those of us who are blind and you have a spouse, for example, I've always struggled with having to ask someone to take me to the flower store and maybe get an anniversary flower or Valentine's or birthday flower for my wife or Mother's Day, that kind of thing. And it had always bothered me. And so I can see the benefit, and I can see why this guy would feel the way that he felt, because it eliminates that process of someone knowing what you're doing. I don't believe that every sighted person out there wants someone to know what they're doing for their spouse and all of that. So I see this as part of that independence that it brings to us, those of us that are blind. And I'm truly appreciative of what you guys are doing. Now, my other question before I let my colleagues ask questions. Now, for example, like John bought from Walmart from your site a little while ago, 2 days ago. Now, so if I want to buy, say, I want to buy something from Target, for example, do I then just put Target in the search field, or how do I interact with a given store?
Yeah, so it's very easy. Just type whatever you want, right? Let's say, I don't know, you're looking for chocolates, right, at Target. Then you can put chocolates from Target, and then the AI will know. Like, it knows how to understand your queries. So yeah, that's how that works.
Thank you.
And when you go and do a search, you're not necessarily restricted to one store if you don't specify, are you? So if you put say you want a coffee machine, it'll it'll list coffee machines and then tell you underneath which store that item's from. Is that right? I was having a play with it.
Yep. And we also have what they call a filtered search. So let's say you search for chocolates, right? And you'll see stuff obviously from everywhere. And then there's another search within that search result. So you can drill down even deeper. So we actually try to eliminate all the complex filtering and like all the different categories that Amazon does. And the reason we do that is because that's at times can make the site more complex and ruin the accessibility. So you try to be a little smarter with it. It's like a nested search, right? So you make your first search, then you'll see chocolates from all over the place. Then there's another search within that query, and then you can drill down deeper if you'd like.
I have two questions. I'll ask the first one now, and I'll keep the second one until the end. Actually, if I make a purchase through the website, so is my relation is with the website or with the retailer like Amazon? So, for example, if I have a dispute, if I want to make a dispute, open a dispute, or if I want to make a return or whatever thing that I want to do regarding the purchase, am I able to do it through Amazon itself, or what's actually the relation between me and you as a website and the original retailer?
Yeah, so that's a great question, right? So I know a common complaint that we get from people is the return process, the complaint process. Suppose you get a defective item, whatever, right? That process for every retailer is different, right? And that poses an accessibility issue because the way you return to something to Walmart, something to Amazon, something to Old Navy, whatever, is different, right? And so what we've done at Innosearch is we're that return process for you. So we are in between you, Amazon, or whatever retailer, right? Over 500,000 retailers. Same for flights, right? So we're that customer service part in between you and all the different retailers. So let's say you bought something from Amazon, you don't like it, it's broken, whatever, you want to return it, you would contact us, right? And we would basically do all of that communication for you. And we've actually have an automated way to do it so that it's not too difficult and we can handle it at scale. And so we will process that return for you. We'll send you the instructions, right? And it could be a shipping label, or it could be a drop off at some place. We'll let you know. We'll do all that research for you, and then we'll relay that information back to you via email. So right now we're doing support primarily through email, but in the future we may expand to other methods like a phone call or live chat support. But currently it's through email, and we respond pretty fast, usually within a few hours. And you'll get those instructions, and then once you make the return, we see it on our end, and we'll process the refund back to your card or however you paid. Does that answer your question, Karene?
Yep, that's good. Thank you.
That actually partially answered the question I was going to ask, because I was going to point out that although AI is great, we all know it could get things wrong from time to time. So I was going to ask about the return process, which you laid out already, but I'm just curious, is there just one global set return policy? Like, do you have a return window? And if so, is it different between retailers, or do you offer the same return policy no matter where you buy?
Yeah, so two of your questions, right? So first thing you asked was the hallucinations, right? There's times where AI can get things wrong, which we've definitely seen. And the way we address that is we actually have human augmentation as well. So there's basically a human that double checks the AI's work. And we do that to ensure a high level of quality and to make sure, AI can help a lot. And I agree. But I think, to be honest, I think it can only go about 80 to 90% of the way. The last 10%, the last mile, typically does require some human intervention, which is fine. And we do that to ensure that our customers have the highest level of quality. So that's on the AI side, and on the customer return side and policies. So we try to do a standardized policy across the board. So we offer 30 days from wherever you've purchased, and we do that just to keep it simple, right? Simple is our motto at Innosearch. We don't like complexity, and I know complexity, really can trip up things from an accessibility perspective. So yeah, we keep it simple across the board. 30 days free returns at the moment.
So I had a couple of questions about AI, and then one about the AI and a couple related to Amazon, if that's okay. So on the AI side, I noticed that you can, on an individual product item, you can chat with the AI about it. But could AI filter the search? So, if I want, let's say I want, we talked about specifying a store, but if I say I want a coffee machine, but only one that doesn't have a touch screen, will the AI filter my search results so that it only shows me coffee machines without touch screens, or do I have to go into each product listing and kind of ask about each specific coffee machine?
I think that's something that you can just try to test out. Currently, we have an algorithm to basically search for products, and I think it has hundreds of parameters. There's keywords, there's relevancy, there's the type of retailer, reliability of that retailer. It also has like reviews. So there's a whole ranking algorithm that's used to find these items. But I would advise just give it a try. You can just type it into the search and see, right, if you can get these get the coffee machine without a touch screen. Now, once you find the item, you can always double click into it and then chat directly once the item is pulled up. And then I know for a fact that would work, because each item, we train the AI on the individual product pages and the actual manuals of the product, and across lots of information on the internet. So actually, when you're typing in the searches or when you're interacting with the AI, there's basically a search that's done across the internet, all the Google search, whatever, the search on the Amazon page, whatever the site that you're purchasing from. And we take all the information to train that chat bot. So it has all the background information that you might want to know. So yeah, so I think at the moment, something like through the original chat, you may not find that level of detail, but once you click into the item, I'm sure you could find it there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if the AI could be deployed across the search as well as the algorithm. I mean, I guess it might take a little slower to return the results, but something I'll definitely have a play with.
That's a good product suggestion. Yeah, I like it.
A couple on Amazon specifically. I was talking to a few folks who've used Innosearch before. How much sort of tracking information do you get, and when will you know what your delivery date is? Obviously, if you're going through Amazon directly, it's sort of pretty instantaneous. You see your delivery date at checkout. Within a search, kind of placing the order, is it as immediate? And do you get tracking, or do you kind of have to wait? How does that work?
So we give it to you as soon as we get it. Okay, so the dates that you see on our site is a direct estimate of what we think it will be, and the moment a more specific date comes in, we just get that information to you via email. So it's pretty much exactly the same as if you placed it on your own on Amazon. So there's basically no difference there, because once you place the order on our side, then the AI will automate that order on Amazon's side, right? So we pass the order directly to them. We're not, we have no inventory, right? We're not stocking this stuff. We basically are just the accessibility layer that connects you and what you want, right? Your needs with those particular retailers, and those retailers will do the fulfillment on their own. So, and we pass it very quickly, many times a day, very often, probably within an hour, it gets passed. So if you are buying it on Amazon or you're buying it on Innosearch, pretty much makes no difference. The only difference, of course, would be the accessibility, right?
Sure. And when Amazon sends tracking information through, if it's a tracked order, does that get passed on as well?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
cool.
right.
Yeah. The other suggestion I had is a little bit more niche, I think, but I was talking to someone, and they were saying that if you buy say a CD or a vinyl record, which a lot of people still collect, Amazon will include the track listing as part of the product description, and Innosearch doesn't seem to. I did test this with I think I used the White Album earlier, and I got a similar result. I just wondered if there was a way that for such products, the track list could be pulled over into the Innosearch product description.
I think it can be. Yeah. I mean, if there's a strong enough demand for something, that's something we can look into. I mean, basically, we get a lot of product suggestions from the community, and everything we keep on a list, and based on how long it takes, and it's how happy we can make our customers, we'll put that into a priority list. But yeah, I think totally that can be done. Basically, we just need to augment the product description, right, so that it's more. Yeah, it just describes the product a little better.
Yeah, and it's in the Amazon product description, so I think you just pull more of it over probably than is currently pulled with my sort of brief experimentation with it.
Yep, I think we totally can do that. Let me make a note of that, actually.
Great. I'll go do one more loop round for questions. I've asked all mine, I think, but Warren, have you got any more questions?
I got one, and I want to thank you again for being here with us, Patrick. Most especially Amazon. Sometimes I know, well, not sometimes, but a lot of times when I'm trying to buy something on Amazon, some things are automatically checked, and if you're not paying attention to uncheck those, most especially if you're doing it on the computer, you wind up with suggested items that are checked to be added to the cart when you tap on that add to cart or whatever. And I can see where your product or your service is doing a good job here. Now, my question to you is, do you have an app? And if not, I know one could do a PWA, Progressive Web app, but is there an Innosearch app, especially for Android, since we're talking here on blind Android users, because lazy guys like me like to use that app instead of the computer sometimes. But going about doing my whatever out and about, and something comes to mind that I want to buy, I want to have that app on there rather than waiting till I bring up the browser or get back home and jump on the computer. So do you guys have an app, or are you planning on developing such an app?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great suggestion. I mean, we've probably heard this 100 times. App is definitely in development. We're currently working on it and should be out probably. I don't want to promise anything too crazy or the engineers are going to kill me, but probably by the end of the year. It will definitely be out. I mean, we have some product features right now in the pipeline, like the voice commands and the phone line. They'll be out in probably a month or two. Phone line a lot sooner, probably in the next 2-3 weeks. But the voice commands on the site probably in a couple of months. And we're also working on some partnerships actually right now with some organizations. So once those are cleared, then and we have more bandwidth, we'll definitely work on the app. The app is, we've gotten a lot of demand for that. I think the app is very important because there's some bugs in Apple VoiceOver, and it doesn't work the best sometimes. So I think an app would allow us to control that experience, and just, it would just be our place, and you could download it, and you can access all of Innosearch's features very easily from that.
And I'm hoping that you'll send the BAU crew and invitation to beta test that app, and because we would like to demo that one. It's available also, writing about it on accessibleandroid.com. So looking forward to you guys doing that, because I think that's important. Lazy guys like me kind of like the app.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we are very much build with the community in mind. I mean, we don't, I think without the community, we wouldn't have such a great product like we have today. As we build, we get lots of feedback, and we are very, very mindful to incorporate that, since, you guys live and breathe this every day, right? You run into issues when you use Amazon, you run into issues when you use Walmart. and we want to make sure that we solve those pain points. So yeah, absolutely, we'll keep you in mind, actually, even as we're developing the app, and starting to put together the screens and things, so you guys can be closely involved. I would definitely love your thoughts, and we're also down to give you guys some gift cards or whatever, um, just for your time, because
Amazing.
would really appreciate that.
I know Ed would like that because you maybe orders beer from Amazon or something crazy like that.
Yeah, that would be amazing, and it's timely as well. Actually, just talking about the need for an accessible interface, because this very week Amazon broke the shopping basket, the cart, from an accessibility standpoint. So yeah, a timely use case, I think, as well.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be inaccessible to be confusing. And like
Yeah.
Warren pointed out, the add to cart thing, like not having ads on the page is huge, because when every product that Amazon recommends on a product page, there's an add to cart button. So instead of just having the one add to cart
Exactly.
button for the product you're
Yeah.
looking at, if you're navigating by buttons, you don't know that you've just scrolled down 2 pages and put the add to
Exactly.
cart button and focus on some recommended item, right? So yeah, just because something is accessible doesn't mean it's easy to use.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, and we addressed this by trying to make it as simple as possible, right? But yeah, 100%. I mean, Amazon is really optimized to get the bottom line as big as possible, right? That's why they always have the add to cart or buy button all over the place.
Because I was looking and I saw my price. So it was something like $36. And then at the bottom, I saw a total. I mean, I haven't added anything, showing like over 100 and something. I'm like, how did we get to this? Then I realized those check boxes of those 3 other items that I wasn't even interested in, but they thought I would like to bundle this with alongside with what I'm getting and bumping up my price to a little over $100. So I really like what you guys are doing, because like not many people are able to track those things, and you wind up getting things that you don't want, and then it becomes a problem. I didn't order this, and you have a big ticket price that is not what you have chosen to buy. And so I like the approach because it eliminates all that problem.
Yep, exactly.
So I'm just curious, because this is a free service, and people often wonder, if I'm not paying for something, am I the product, right? But so I'll just ask you straightforward. Like I assume you get a cut from every purchase, just as if like we clicked on an affiliate link. Is that how you guys are generating revenue on your end?
Yep, that's right. So the price you see is actually the exact same price at that retailer, right? So if an item says, I don't know, these pants, right, from eBay for $11, right? That's the exact price that is being sold for this pants, right? $11. And the way Innosearch makes the money is we have a relationship with some of these retailers, and they share basically part of that with us. So the price you pay on Innosearch will never be more, than what you would have found on that site. And those sites share with us a small percentage back. Right? So a small percentage of each purchase through either affiliate relationship, right, or some marketing relationship, they will send us a few percentage back. And that's how basically the company sustains itself.
All right, perfect. That makes sense. I just wanted a confirmation.
Just wanted to say also, it's 100% free to use. So currently there's like no subscription, there's no extra charges, nothing. So you can just
There's no reason not to try it, honestly.
Yeah, it's the same as if you were going to buy from Amazon anyway. So why not, right?
So how do you deal with coupons? For example, I know that Amazon has, or is notorious for sometimes you have check this whatever on page coupon to bring down the price and all of that. And I would like to believe that the AI algorithm from your side would be able to maybe apply those. But how do you deal with coupons?
Yeah, so we try to find the best possible price for you with or without the coupon. Some of the coupons do have some restrictions, like it's one-time use, or I mean, there's different things that you have to qualify for. So for those, we cannot apply those. But basically, we find the best possible price and we display it for you on Innosearch.
Great.
I have a question about your future plans. Well, are you planning to expand to more countries, more regions? I mean, I can see the benefit of such service in certain countries, like, for example, here, and it's not the only country that has this problem, but it's an example. We have even issues with online payments. So blind people are just unable sometimes to get cards or to open bank accounts. So like such services, especially if they offer, and it's something that we know here, it's really famous, the cash on delivery thing. So and even the accessibility experience itself. On the shopping websites, sometimes it's not that good. So I can see the benefit of having such service, but are you able or are you willing or are there any plans to expand to more countries?
Yeah, so definitely. I think obviously accessibility is a worldwide problem, right? And I think in many countries, accessibility is not a top priority. I think in the US, UK, they're better, right? Australia, Canada, they're better. Other countries, I think it's even harder, right? And we've actually gotten a lot of requests from folks in India, in South Africa, in Denmark, different countries in Europe as well that would love a service like this. So yeah, it's something we're actively exploring. And basically, as long as the underlying services are there, so you do have an Amazon equivalent, right? If there's e-commerce stores equivalent in those respective countries, then it shouldn't be too difficult for us to expand there, as long as there's sufficient demand, right? Because there is some work on the engineering side to make sure everything's working smoothly. But as long as I think there's enough demand, enough users are excited by it and would use the product, then yeah, I mean, that's something we would do. Yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you.
So I'm not a prophet or anything of the sort, but I kind of see you guys becoming the be my eyes of shopping for blind people. And following what Karene just asked, I think it would be nice to see that thing becoming something global, or at least in many countries around the world, because like you've indicated, it's not just us only here in the States or the UK, Australia, or Canada that have blind people, but we have blind people all over the world. And I think a lot of people will stand to use this service. So I'm really believing that somehow you guys would find a way to make this possible around many countries around the world. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's totally possible. If you guys actually know of any groups, right, whether they be government agencies or different nonprofits that have outreach to those users, that yeah, feel free to connect us. We'd love to get a conversation going with them to see how we can bring what we're building to the market, right? Ultimately, for us, it's the calculus is very simple, right? As long as there's enough users that want it, then we'll build it, right? We just don't want to make the investment up front and only have 2 users, right? So as long as there's enough people, right, that love it, that want to use it, that want to buy from it, that currently don't have a good enough solution, then yeah, I mean, we can definitely do it. That's not a problem at all.
Because I'm looking at something like Amazon that a lot of places around the world have. Let's talk about India, for example. I would like to believe that those guys have access to Amazon, and it would be nice to see how you guys could work that out to where those people from those other countries that want to buy from Amazon could access that, just like we do here. I think it's going to be a huge thing.
Yep, I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be absolutely wonderful if you make it to more countries, because online shopping is getting even more popular, especially after the COVID-19. You see how important it is.
Exactly. Yeah, everything is basically digital now, right? And I think it's only going to get more digital, right, with this AI stuff. I mean, digital stuff is going to be the future, right? We're going to have, maybe we'll have walking robots in the next 10 years. I don't know.
Just don't run on me on the street or something like that. So, well, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this is really great. And looking forward to. I'm an optimist, and I believe that you guys will figure out, at least for starters, to get Amazon accessible to other people around the world, and then the other ones that you could work on later. But I think probably something like Amazon should probably be maybe one of your priorities for people outside of these 4 countries that are currently available on.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be looking into it.
Patrick, thanks ever so much again for giving up your Saturday morning or part of it to come and talk to us about Innosearch. And just for clarification, Innosearch is INNO, as in the start of innovation, then search, innosearch.ai. Patrick, thanks again.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks so much for the time and opportunity to share.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Look forward to seeing you again when you have the app or when you have expanded Amazon.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, guys. Nice meeting you all as well.
Likewise.
Up next is the App of the Week segment. This is a segment dedicated to app demonstrations. Should you have an app that you would like to demonstrate for our listeners, feel free to send us the recording of such an app demo to contact us at blindandroidusers.com. And now for this week's episode, here's your App of the Week.
Now we turn to our App of the Week section, and Warren demonstrates the game Project Dark.
Hi, Warren here for Blind Android Users Podcast, and for episode 220, App of the Week, this is demonstrating Project Dark. Project Dark is a production of a Canadian group called Red Meat Projects. No vegans or chickeners in here. So if you're a chickener or a fish lover, haha, this is not for you. It's for me, a red meat eater. Now, seriously, here's a Project Dark that I would like to introduce to you guys. I'm not a gamer, but I thought that some of you like games, and it will be nice to kind of introduce this to you guys so you see if this is what you like or not. For today's demonstration, I'll be utilizing my Pixel 9 Pro XL running Android 16 Beta 2 and with TalkBack 15.x, and deliberately for this demonstration, I am utilizing the Vocalizer TTS engine in the voice variant of Allison. I am on the Play Store page of Red Meat Projects, and I'm sitting here on Project Dark. And first, though, I'd like to go to the description of the app, and afterwards, I'll come back here and install it and get started. Let's go to the About.
About this game, heading. Google Play Store, Project Dark, details. Narrative-driven, immersive audio game with interactive branching storylines. Project Dark is a narrative-driven, immersive audio game that draws on the classic choose-your-own-adventure genre to create a unique and compelling interactive experience. The game's impactful choices and realistic binaural audio allow players to become so immersed in the experience that they can play with their eyes closed. Simple mechanics make this a game that can be played by anyone, and we look forward to seeing where this exploration of darkness takes you. In this first anthology, players will enjoy several episodes set in rich and vibrant worlds that examine the breadth and depth of darkness. Each episode offers a unique and captivating experience that will leave you wanting more. The branching narrative of the game is dependent on your in-game choices, resulting in different storylines and endings depending on your decisions. This results in high replayability, as players can play episodes over again to get different outcomes. Each episode is available for an in-app purchase, or buy the bundle at a discounted rate to experience all 6 unique stories. Episodic content. A date in the dark. You're on a first date in a restaurant that's in total darkness. As you navigate this unusual experience, you must also navigate the complexities of a first date with a woman named Lisa. Will this be a good first date, or will you strike out in the dark? Submersive. After recovering ancient treasure, a small scavenger team on an ocean expedition must work together to survive. As the captain of the team, every choice you make could mean the difference between life and death. Will your leadership skills be enough to get your team to safety? Game of 3. Your morality is put to the test as you find yourself with the power to decide who lives and who dies. Forced to eliminate one of 3 strangers in each round, you must weigh the value of each life and make the difficult choice of who deserves to survive. As the game progresses, you'll discover shocking truths about your competitors that will challenge your beliefs and force you to question your own value system for life. Will you prioritize your own survival, or will you make decisions based on your moral compass? The choice is yours in this thought-provoking and suspenseful episode of Project Dark. Cave of Spirits, adventure across a medieval fantasy landscape as Oswin, a blind cabbage farmer, in his quest to rescue the princess and become a knight in King Aldrich's court. You will travel with the court jester, making this episode very funny and more of an action comedy. Will Oswin be able to overcome the challenges and emerge as a true hero? Home invasion. Mina and her younger brother Samir must defend themselves from an intruder who has broken into their home. As you play, you must stay hidden and avoid detection until you can escape with your lives. Will you be able to outsmart the intruder and get out alive? Bliss. You are a coma patient reliving your traumatic past in order to fix your future. With the help of Calm, a mysterious guide, you must confront your demons and find a way to move on. Will you be able to find the path to bliss, or will you be trapped reliving your past forever? Experience the power of audio storytelling and immerse yourself in the dark and captivating worlds of Project Dark, with each episode offering a unique and engaging experience. This anthology is sure to keep you entertained for hours on end. Play the game with your eyes closed, and let the story take you away. More info. Teen. Fantasy violence, use of alcohol, language, in-game purchases. Learn more. Game info. Version 1.16. Updated on October 28, 2024. Downloads 1,000 plus downloads. Download size 145 megabytes. Required OS Android 5.1 and up. In-app purchases $2.99 to $9.49 per item. Offered by Red Meat Games. Released on March 10, 2023.
And that's both the description of the app and its history. I'll now navigate my way back to the installation page and tap on that install, and let's get started.
Play Store. About this game. Heading. Install. But. Pending. Verified by Play Protect. Navigate up. Button. Project Dark. 8%. 22%. 28%. 34%. 41%. 48%. 54%. 60%. 67%. 73%. 80%. 86%. 93%. 99%. 100%. Installing. Checking for updates for where.
I am convinced we're done with the installation, and I'll now tap on that open.
Play button.
Rather, it's play.
Project Dark. Game view.
Hey, are your eyes closed? You have to keep your eyes closed. Sound is essential.
Main menu. Swipe left to select an episode. Swipe right for settings. Swipe up for episode store.
In other words, if you're familiar with something that used to be called Voxmate, the whole idea is just a few swipes. Either swipe up, swipe down, swipe left, swipe right, or tap at the top or tap at the bottom. So consisting of 6 gestures. Matter of fact, if you want, you can turn off TalkBack, and if you want to keep TalkBack running, then remember to do these swipes using 2 fingers. I will now swipe from left to right, that is from the middle of the phone, swiping right, that is from left to right, to go to the settings.
Settings, page 1. Tap the top left to turn menu narration on or off. Tap the top right to change the volume level. Tap the bottom to turn vibrations on or off. Swipe right for settings, page 2. Swipe left to return to the main menu.
I will now swipe right again, that is swiping from the middle of the phone toward the right edge of the phone with 2 fingers to go to page 2 of the settings.
Settings, page 2. Tap the top left for the privacy policy. Tap the top right to delete saved data. Tap the bottom for credits. Swipe left to return to settings, page 1.
And that's all that we have about the settings. I'll now go back to the main menu by swiping twice from the middle of the phone, swiping left from there twice to get to the main menu.
Settings, page 1. Tap the main menu. Swipe left to select an episode. Swipe right for settings. Swipe up for episode store.
There you have it. So if I'm going to go to the menu where it contains the games, I'll swipe from the middle of the phone with 2 fingers left, or if I don't have my screen reader running, then simply swiping with 1 finger. Let's go to the store though to see what we have. So I'm going to swipe up with 2 fingers from the middle. I'll now swipe upward to the store.
Episode store. Tap the top left of the screen to select Date in the Dark. Tap the top of the screen to select Submersive. Tap the top right of the screen to select The Game of 3. Tap the middle left of the screen to select Cave of Spirits. Tap the middle of the screen to select Home Invasion. Tap the middle right to select Bliss. Tap the bottom left of the screen to purchase the selected episode. Tap the bottom right of the screen to restore your purchases. Swipe down to exit.
So in other words, what we have here is the list of games as described in the description, and you can interact with these and choose what you want. I'll swipe down to exit.
Main menu. Swipe left to select an episode. Swipe right for settings. Swipe up for episode store.
I will now swipe left from the middle of the phone with 2 fingers to go to the menu of the games.
Episode select. Swipe left on the top half of the screen to select episodes. Tap the top half of the screen for episode and description. Tap the bottom of the screen to start the selected episode. Swipe right on the bottom half of the screen to return to the main menu.
I'm going to swipe left from the top.
Date in the Dark.
This is Date in the Dark, and I'm thinking Sally here. Maybe Sally should take that girl called Lisa out and see what they get. I'm going to tap the middle.
You're on a blind date in total darkness with a woman named Lisa who has done this before. Is this a good match?
Well, you got the drift. Well, as I indicated earlier on, I'm not a gamer, and so you guys can go ahead and explore this game and see if it's something you would like to play with. But for now, though, I think this would conclude the quick demonstration of the project. Thanks for listening.
John, have you also had a little look at this one, I think?
Yeah, I did. I didn't play like an actual level, but I did go through the little tutorial thing. And it was interesting. Something I wanted to point out is that as Warren showed you in the demo, you can do certain things with TalkBack turned on, but in order to actually play it, you're going to have to turn it off because it requires that you single tap certain areas of the screen. And even when you first you can even are required to move a finger around the screen at some point. Like it says, drag your finger around the screen until you find something on the screen. So you kind of have to have TalkBack off for that. So yeah, just be prepared to like use whatever shortcut you have assigned to TalkBack to turn it off before you start playing the game.
The good thing is that this thing is self-voicing, if like I indicated, it's like VoxMate reminds me so much of the VoxMate in several ways, because all you have is, those gestures. And so it's very simplistic. And of course, definitely, if you want to experience that smooth operation of the game, rather, you'll have to turn TalkBack off so you can enjoy it. I'm kind of trying to see if I could get one game to try it with. I'm not a gamer, but I love it because it's a red meat project, and I don't care about chicken or fish and all of that vegan nonsense. Excuse my Espanol. I didn't mean that. You guys who love that. Want the red meat.
I meant it for him.
So frankly, I'm going to get one of the episodes. And I was thinking of Sally here, especially that Dead in the Dark. Sally, you want to get it and take that girl Lisa out and see what
definitely.
you guys.
I'll take her out.
I thought of you when I saw that you taking out Lisa on a date. I'm like, Sally.
Yeah,
here.
you see. Well.
And now, Jieshuo, aka Commentary Screen Reader, CSR, or if you're me, the Confused Screen Reader. This is a segment dedicated to this great popular screen reader where we show you some new feature or some feature that we believe you should be in the know of. And now, for this episode, here's your entry for Jieshuo, aka Commentary Screen Reader.
And we finish up this week with a segment on Jieshuo commentary, and Karene shows us touch locking.
Hi. Lock touch function is a feature of the Jieshuo screen reader that disables all screen touches, including taps and gestures. You might find yourself in need of such function in certain situations. So let's see how to use the lock touch function. It's a function, so you can activate it from the main menu. Also, you can activate it via the voice assistant, and you can assign a gesture to it. I'll select it from the main menu.
Main menu. More button. Main menu. Lock touch.
I'll double tap.
Touch locked. All touches and gestures are blocked. Please press the volume up and down keys at the same time to disable.
If I try to touch the screen, double tap, swipe with one finger, 2 fingers, perform an angular gesture, nothing. So now all touches are blocked. Even if I turn off the screen, then turn it on, and even if I'm on the lock screen, the function won't be deactivated, and the function will still be active even if I suspend browse by touch. However, it's possible to use volume keys. For example, I can activate the voice assistant, and by default, the voice assistant is accessed by long pressing the volume down key. I'll try to open an app using the voice assistant. Gemini.
Open Gemini. Application icon.
It opened the Gemini app. I'll try now to go back.
Home screen to F2.
So it performed the back function. You should know, though, that not all functions might work. When I tried, for example, to assign a volume key press to moving to the next focusable item on the screen, this didn't work. Now, how to disable the lock touch? As you heard in the instructions, you should press both volume keys at the same time. However, as usual, this means that you should press one volume key, then press the second one, then release them together. I'll do it now.
Touch unlocked.
Touch unlocked. Now I can use the screen normally. Another way to disable the function is by saying its name using the voice assistant, lock touch. Also, turning off then on the screen reader will deactivate the function. In Jieshuo settings, you will find an option called Prevent Accidental Touches. This is different than the touch locking function. This option is similar to the feature that is available on most, if not all, Android UIs, which could be called Pocket Mode, Accidental Touch Prevention, or something similar. And it tries to use the sensors, like here with Jieshuo, it's using the proximity sensor to block accidental touches. Well, I don't see a point in having the feature in Jieshuo itself, because I think that it will work better if you try to use it through the system itself without using Jieshuo's feature. So I'll open
Main screen reader settings.
screen reader settings.
Jieshuo Plus. Notification extensions. Advanced settings. Operation settings.
Advanced settings, then operation settings.
Operation setting. Use one finger full screen. Prevent accidental touches unchecked.
Prevent accidental touches, this checkbox. And I have next.
Prevent accidental touches on lock screen only unchecked unavailable.
This works only on the lock screen. So if the screen is fully unlocked, the prevent accidental touches won't be active. Well, on phones that have virtual proximity sensor, it's likely that this feature won't have any effect. Anyway, if you want to try it, it's there. Thank you for listening.
And not really relevant to touch locking, but that is a timely reminder for me to sort out my Jieshuo license on my new S25 Ultra, which came this week. I haven't done that yet, so I don't have my premium features.
It's not a premium feature, by the way. You can use it if you want. But you
well,
should be.
And, you won't be surprised to know that Jieshuo is working really bad on these Samsung phones.
On the S25s?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
terrible. I don't know what words to describe, but definitely no.
Oh no! You're destroying the reputation of Jieshuo. What you're doing?
I'm always honest. Like I'm.
Oh boy! Well, it's the confused screen reader, right? So I think maybe it gets confused.
Jieshuo is awesome, definitely awesome, but yeah, it's not working. I mean, it's giving me a lot of trouble. So I'm with TalkBack ever since I got my device, and I'm okay with it so far.
Okay, guys, this is the February 22nd Fool. So
the February Fool.
Warren, do it to that girl.
Yeah. What's it doing? What's wrong with it?
I mean, it's real slow. I mean, it should have been working faster than TalkBack in many aspects, especially like I was with my S23, but looking at this on a better specs device, there are a lot of optimization issues with Android 15.
Interesting.
Yeah, and to be serious, actually,
he is right.
Yeah, and people who are using other UIs like Xiaomi, for people they are facing more issues, and some people are just saying that they are unable to use Jieshuo for extended periods of times. Jieshuo is stopping. So yeah, I think the guy should do something about Android 15 because things are not going as they should. But we shouldn't just forget something that it was the spring vacation there. So they were having their holidays.
I
and
love the spring
usually,
vacation.
yeah, it's really no,
Oh
I'm not
boy.
really honest about it. It's always the time of the year when Jieshuo's development is slowed down, and this is something that we are all aware of. I mean, Jieshuo users, but yeah, he started working on the screen reader recently. So actually, the first beta version was yesterday after the stable one that was released in, I think it was, yeah, on January 28th, I think. So then he took that vacation until yesterday. Yesterday was the first beta. So I hope that he'll start working on
So
the improvements. And you should, guys, send feedback. You should
yeah,
email
I
him
did.
with the bugs.
Yesterday. I really did yesterday. And like whatever happened, I don't know, but since the new Chinese year, things going upside down for Jieshuo.
Well, he's partying out, guys. I mean, give the guys a little break. He's just trying to recover from that hardy party he just went to.
Yeah. I mean, that's me after summer.
Oh boy. All good things must end. Thus, it's curtain drawing time, bringing us to the close of this week's episode. Coming up, though, we give you information on how to get hold of us.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. John, how can people get in touch with us?
To contact us, simply send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. If you'd prefer, you can leave a voicemail by calling +1 307 202 9797. You can join our mailing list by sending a blank email to blindandroidusers+subscribe@groups.io. You can join our Facebook and Telegram groups or subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links in the podcast show notes or YouTube video description. And you can find all of this information and more at our website, blindandroidusers.com.
Well, thanks very much for listening. Say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone, and thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great week.
Have a warm weekend. Thank you for listening.
Have a great week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.